Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. And here at Dawn, we have two Kentucky straight bourbon whiskeys. This is Bellows. This is a what you would call basic bourbon. It's a basic label. It's got like this yellow pen and ink in the background showing a distillery, and it's got to be a B, William Bellows. And it says Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. And it is age, it says right there, 4 years. So it's a 4-year-old bourbon. And true story, it really is from 1830, unlike a lot of these bourbons that like pretend that they're really old and they aren't. But Bellows is owned by Luxco today. I found this bottle at Savannah Discount in Marrero, Louisiana, which is on Louisiana Highway 45 northbound in Marrero. And you'll see it. It looks like it used to be a convenience store and maybe a gas station at one time. I don't know if they ever had pumps, but it still, in a way, is a convenience store in the sense that they sell milk, chocolate bars, maybe aspirin and stuff like that. But most, it's 99% liquor, a lot of wine, and some beer. Okay, so this was $5.99. The guy asked me, did I ever have this? Would I like to try it? One of the salespeople there. And I said, oh, I've had Bellows before. Oh, okay, boss. He said, okay, boss. Clear sky out there with a few clouds. But actually, I had not had it. I had their blended. And then something caught my mind. I don't know what it was. Hello, Max Walt in the Russian Federation. I wasn't trying to ignore you. I saw you, but I was talking. Just something jogged my mind, and I went back and I said, straight bourbon. Oh, so I had to check on this. I wanted to buy it. So I asked the lady at the register, could you, because I didn't see a tag. I said, can you do a price check? I don't see a tag. And she said, okay. And she scanned it, and it was $5.99. I said, $5.99. And this is a liter bottle. So, of course, I bought it. Now I'm down to the last, maybe 3. Yeah, I'll probably get 3 taste challenges out of this. Maybe 4, but I don't think so. So is that the cheapest I've ever paid for Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey? $5.99 for a liter. I don't think I ever got it cheaper than that. I mean, that is like literally the lowest price you're going to ever see. But that was 5 years ago. Okay, so it wasn't like the other day. I saw a tornado in the news in Michigan. Yes, we have a lot of tornadoes in the United States, I'm afraid to say, unfortunately, and we have more than any other country. And that's not too nice. Okay. So very old Barton. Oh yeah, very old Barton. No website listing. There isn't much of a website listing for Barton, but there is. It doesn't do you much good to look at it. But here's very old Barton. Their website is gone. I guess Sazerac decided to kill it. You say no. You said Barton Brands. Why are you mentioning Sazerac? Well, actually, Barton is owned by Sazerac, so they bought Barton and Barton Distilling Company in 2009. And if you look at the back of this bottle, very small, it says Sazerac.com. And but they don't list it on their website. It used to say age 6 years, and then after Sazerac bought it, that designation got changed to 86 proof. So it's no age statement anymore. I don't run the show, people. I don't know what to say. They took over Old Charter and it went from 8 years to no age statement. Are they going to change Eagle Rare to no age statement? I don't think they'll go that far. They got some self-control. They won't go that far. Poured a little too much. I tried pouring it back in, but it'll just spill everywhere. Guess I could use that funnel though. I don't know. These glasses are small, and it looks like a lot, but then you realize the glasses are small, and then you take two sips, and it's all gone. So it's really not that much. But we don't want to over taste. You know what I mean? So yeah, probably got two more taste challenges left on the William Bellows. Appearance. Well, they're both amber gold, so the appearance won't matter. They're both aged at least 4 years, so that won't matter. They're both Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, so that won't matter. That won't matter because there's no flavoring added, no coloring added, okay? Somebody was commenting on my videos yesterday, ranting and raving about, some of these bourbons add color, they add flavor, and some of the Canadian whiskeys. And I said, yeah, but cool it, calm down, because you could just ignore those products. You're not obligated to buy them. If you want to make sure you're not getting something with flavoring or coloring, just buy straight whiskey, straight bourbon, or straight rye whiskey, or straight corn whiskey, or whatever, type of whiskey you want to buy. But now Canadian, I don't know what to tell you, because they typically add flavoring. That's not a requirement. It's an allowance. And they tend to do it. Now, if you find a Canadian whiskey that says no flavoring or coloring added, well, there you go. You got it. But I never see bottles saying that. All right. I just don't see them saying that. If they're coming from Sazerac, at least they'll tell you it's got flavoring added, natural flavors. Cannot be artificial. That's not allowed. But if you get one that's under Sazerac's umbrella, they're going to just tell you whiskey with natural flavors. Whether you want to buy it, it's up to you, but they're going to tell you on the bottle. And that's good that they're doing that, because at least they're laying it out for you, saying, look, here it is. Look, we're just telling you now, be warned, Most people that buy this kind of stuff, because they're usually the low shelf products that's going to, what I mean? Sazerac deals in a lot of low shelf products. Not always, of course. You got your Elmer T. Lee and your George Stagg and your Hancock and, all of those things, Pappy Van Winkle line. So those are top shelf, but, and they're all straight. All right. But anyway, so that's the thing. You can work around that. This is what I'm trying to say. You can work around it. Except if you're dealing with Canadian whiskey, it's going to be very difficult to work around it. Early AM drinking, baby. Yeah, well, martini G. Well, I'm tasting it. I wouldn't drink whiskey at 5 something in the morning, but I'll taste them just as the Dawn Busters effect. Okay, so I don't think these are going to be too different. The only real big difference with these two is one is 86 proof and the other is 80. So 3% alcohol difference, 40% versus 43%. May make a small difference. All right. But otherwise, these are kind of like the same, more or less. And they're also obscure. Let's be honest. Most people are not going to see Bellows in the store. I've seen it one time in my life. I've seen that bottle one time in my life in a liquor store. I've seen Barry Barton twice in my life in a liquor store. Once in Kentucky, the second time in Pascagoula, Mississippi, at which point I paid $11.99 and I bought that bottle. When I was in Kentucky about 3 years before that, I paid, I think it was $4.99 for a half size bottle of the 80 proof, something like that, $4.99, and it was a good price. So, but let's not pretend, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that these are common products, because they're not. And if I do a video on them, I'm not going to get a lot of people watching, because they don't care about it. They can't find it. They can't get it. So why even bother watching? I can't blame them for that. Now I had somebody telling me last week, trying to tell me like what videos I need to make to get more views. And I was like, I'm not chasing views. I just make videos just almost like I make them for myself. I mean, I don't watch them. I'm watching them while I'm making them. You know what I mean? Like when I make a video, it's like I'm watching it while I'm making it. Like I'm my own audience, like I'm watching my own videos because I'm interested in the product. You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, I'm like interested in the product. So it's sort of that experience. But if I was chasing views, I wouldn't be doing these two products ever. You know what I mean? So I just do it for fun. And that's the truth. I just something to do, something fun to do. I like it, so do it. Maybe, and I mean maybe this one here to my right, your left, my right. And I don't know why people do videos where they got the reverse screen, and it's almost every time they're doing it on their phone. It's like flip that around, and you can do the setting on your phone where it's going to show people the correct direction. They got a T-shirt and everything's backwards. It's like, come on, you want people to watch your videos, but you don't do them right. That bothers some people where everything is backwards. They just turn it off. They can't stand it. I mean, I don't like it, but I don't care, but I don't like it. Or they'll have like a bad setting, like a bedroom with clothes everywhere, bed unmade, and stuff all out of order. And that's going to turn people off. They're going to think, here you are judging liquor or beer, and you don't even have your stuff straight. It's like, why should I listen to your evaluation? Because you don't even keep your house neat. It's like, what are you doing over here on the internet? And then you say, oh, that's not related to the product. It is related in a sense. And people are going to, if you want to say pass judgment, make a judgment, they're going to do it. I'm talking about people that's talking about watching my videos. I wish people would watch, but don't turn them off. Do you know offhand what you most viewed video is, says Wings and Pizza? No, I don't. Maybe Budweiser. See a product like Budweiser and people are going to watch, So anyway, enough of that. These are so close. It is not going to be easy at all. But yeah, when I do videos, I try to make the setting look nice. Like I'm not going to have a garbage can behind me. But some people, they'll do that. And it's like, or they'll have like trash, and it's I'm thinking, man, you need training. All right, on how to make video. Okay. Anyway, I'm not saying that to be hateful. I'm saying that to help, actually, because some people do want those views and they do want likes, comments, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll be like perplexed, like why people don't, or they won't give scores clearly. Now that's a real pet peeve with me. They talking fast, like they in a rush. It's like, well, you in a big rush to make this video? Okay, fine, you're in a rush, fine. But at least have some controls. Like they say, I'm gonna give a score, and they're like, sometimes they'll mumble it, like, oh, I'm gonna score this 4 out of 5, and they keep going. It's like, did he say 4 out of 5 or 4.5 out of 5? It's like I'm watching this whole video, and I don't know what the person said on the beer. It's like I don't know what their score is, and I would like to know the score. You know what I mean? Like if I'm watching a football game, I'd like to know the score. You say, well, it was close. No, I know, but what was the score? Everybody asked that. What was the score? So when you're doing a video review, give the score clearly, articulate, and say it more than once. Give the score, and then at the end of the video, you should say, okay, so I gave this beer a 93 out of 100, 9.3 out of 10, and A, it's a most excellent beer. You should buy it. You're going to love it. I think it's great. Okay, be precise. Do not make people search around in your video for 10 minutes trying to find your score. And you know as well as I do, this is a common problem with beer reviewers on YouTube and other channels, I guess. And I can name some names right now. They know what they're doing. They know how to evaluate the beer. I believe they are correct in what they're saying, but they are very bad in communicating it to the public with their mentioning. They'll just mention the score like in passing. And you get distracted, like somebody's knocking on your door, or you heard something outside, or you say, "Oh, I forgot my thing." You won't get it, and then you say, "Oh, what was the score?" And then you got to go and be searching all through the video to find the score. And it's like it just, man, it's now Greg. Remember Greg? He died. Everybody was sorry about Greg dying, and I believe he was killed in an accident. Well, he wasn't immediately killed, but the injuries resulting from the accident. So you could, that is the reason, killed in an accident, but delayed. You understand? Don't want to be morbid here, but he was good at emphasizing the score. Like you said, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I'm giving it an A, and he might go on for 10 minutes angry about no date on the can, guys, and I couldn't argue with that. And then but I didn't like where he would give it a lower score. He said I would give it an 88, but I'm gonna give it a 78 because it got no date. But then you knew it was an 88 because he just said it was a B. So you couldn't a B plus. You could disregard that deduction thing, but that's this thing he was hung up on. But at least what I'm saying is he would emphasize the score. Here is the score that I'm giving the product that you just spent 10 minutes watching a video about. Not mention it in passing. They could even write in the description in the score rating. I know they got some guys from Kentucky. They make good videos. They get a lot of views. Not as many views as they should to match their subscription, though. That's a little strange. Now you got a lot of video channels like that. They'll have a subscription number that's astronomically high, but the views don't match. So that starts making me think, wait a minute, it's like, well, how you got all these subscribers, but you don't have this many views? You got people subscribed that don't watch? I mean, it's like, what's up with that? Just saying. But they'll mention a score. That's a perfect example. They'll just mention a score fast, in passing, and they'll flash a number. They'll flash a number like in a second, 1 second. And I don't know how many times I had to go back searching through their videos and say, oh, okay, he gave it a 6. Why flash it for a second? You could keep the number in front of the person for the rest of the video, honestly. And you could emphasize the doggone score. Okay, so it just irks me to no end. He also hated the Best Buy dates. He wanted to know when the beer was made. And he didn't like Budweiser. He cracked me up, though. He said, I hate Budweiser. I don't drink garbage like that. But I drank it for 30 years. And now I realize how bad it is. And I was thinking, it took you 30 years to realize how bad it was? I think if something was garbage, I'd have realized that in about 30 minutes. But, hey, but some people are slower to realize things, I guess. But it took him 30 years. He always said that. It took him 30 years. He drank it for 30 years. Then he realized how bad it was. So, But that's the company that started Born on dates. Remember that? Back in the 80s or early 90s, they kept saying, we put the Born on date on our beer, the Born on date. So when your Budweiser was made, unlike these other companies that won't tell you, trying to hide it, which is true. They do try to hide. So they use some like Byzantine code that nobody can figure out. Like you got to use the Rosetta Stone to figure out when the beer was made. But I don't think he ever mentioned that, but they did. They pioneered that Budweiser, that brand, Budweiser, and I guess Bud Light pioneered Born on dates. But on with this, maybe They bought out the subscribers, or they are fake accounts of subscribing to them. There's a, it's not really a rumor because somebody who's a, or I should say was a video reviewer, he told me that he paid a service to get subscribers. He just said it. He paid somebody, and I don't know how that works because I wouldn't pay a penny in my lifetime for it to pull in subs. So it looked like, wow, this guy's got tens of thousands of subs. It's amazing. But then when you looked at the view count, it was like, well, wait a minute, he's got less than me. You know, if I got this many subscribers, and let's say I got 8 million views, let's say I got 17,000 subscribers and 8 million views, and you got 34,000 subscribers. Well, common sense tells me you should have 16 million views, double the number. You got double the subs, you should have double the number, not less. I mean, let's think about it, people. You got double the number of people subscribed to your channel, but you got less views than the person that got half the subs. That's telling me right there something ain't right. I mean, I don't care. I'm not bothered by it. You understand? It's just something I notice. I notice things, you know. I'm not stupid, and I'm not going to pretend that I don't notice. I do. Something to think about. Okay. Huh. Well, getting some nut oil, like say pecan oil, or what you call that, walnut oil. Getting sugar water, of course. I'm getting vanilla from the oak, vanilla and honeysuckle nectar. But this almost tastes like a Canadian whiskey. And Canadian whiskey, when you think about it, it is constructed very similar to bourbon. Now, some Americans now are having a nervous breakdown and trying to attack me. If they could jump through the internet, they would fight with me now because I said Canadian whiskey is very similar to bourbon. But I don't care if they get mad because I know what I'm talking about. It is in many ways. I didn't say exactly the same. I never said exactly the same. I say in many ways. This one seems weaker. If you want to say a little blander in the flavor, I wouldn't argue with that. Good flavor, but more watered down, and it literally is watered down because that's how they bring the proof down. Barrel proof is strong. How did they go from barrel proof, might be 134 proof, down to 80 proof? It's easy. Well, got to have the right equipment, you know. They add tap water to it. Just regular old tap water out the faucet. It's already filtered, you know, so they don't add bottled water. If that's what you think, then you're thinking incorrectly because you know how expensive bottled water. I don't even know why people buy bottled water in most places because it's no better than the tap water. But they got this in their mind, you see. But and they'll spend all kind of money every week on this. But so literally it's watered down. It's like literally definitively watered down. Bourbon is brought down to 80 proof with water. And then somebody was telling me, well, if you don't want to drink, I couldn't get over this. He says, but if you find that cask strength is too strong, why don't you just add water and bring it down to 80 proof? I said, but what would be the purpose of buying cask strength bourbon then? You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna pay $75 for a bottle so I can add tap water and bring it down. So it'll be like a $12 bottle. Why not just skip the step and buy the $12 bottle? Funny, huh? All right. This is definitely the very old Barton. So they were not as similar as I had first believed them to be. Okay, Wings and Pizza says 17,000 subscribers is pretty impressive in this genre. You have a good channel. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, been 14 years since I've been on the thing, though. Almost 14. But I don't chase it. You know, I don't. And I'm not trying to downplay it like, oh, I'm trying to be like false modesty or false humility or no. It's just the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't. I never even said in any video I ever made in my life, please subscribe. I never once asked anybody to subscribe because they got enough sense to subscribe if they want to. I'm sure if they wanted to subscribe, they could press the button. So I don't need to tell people that. That's the way I look at it. They'll come to the channel if they want, or they'll leave it if they want, or they'll ignore it if they want, or they'll watch it if they want. Simple as that. Don't ask them to like the video. If they don't like it, don't like it. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. I do want people to comment, though. Common sense. It's social media, so you want to be social and answer comments and interact with people like we're doing right now. Some video reviewers got a problem with that, as we all know. It's like they bothered by the viewers, you know, oh, these viewers, I got to answer more comments. Now, you just beg people for 10 minutes to subscribe, like, and comment. You made a big video, you made a big production out of that. But now it's like it's killing you to answer their comments because you got important things to do. You don't have to deal, you don't have time to deal with these viewers, these nags, you know, and that's the way they act, their attitude is. And you say, nah, they just don't like you. No, go look at their comments and their answers, and it's consistently offhand towards people. It'll be a quick, insincere, non-heartfelt comment. They'll say, oh, I answer every comment, but it's like a nothing answer. Like, yeah, that'll be the comment. Yeah, or you're right, or I didn't think about that, or cheers, or thanks. It's like, you don't care what the people say. You know, it's obvious by your answers that you do not care. Now, I do care what people say. Now, if they're asking good questions, not like stupidity stuff, you know, like you look like David Spade, you know, it's like nothing to do with the beer. So I might give a comment like, oh, really? You know, that doesn't deserve an answer. I shouldn't even say that. But if they're going to ask questions about the product and it's sincere and you could tell, and then I'll give good answers. And I spend time every day answering those comments. You know, unless something happened and like we had no internet for weeks one time after the hurricane. So, you know, it was very difficult to answer any comments. But once I got back online, I spent a long time catching up. So I don't just run through it like, oh, these viewers, let me get them out of my face. I don't have time for these people. I don't look at it, but some do. And you know what I'm talking about. And you know who I'm talking about in some cases. Hope you're doing well. You mean why? I'm a stickler on punctuation. YOU''RE. Hope you are doing well this morning. I'm just getting to work. Have a great day. You too. Water it down, says Wesley. But it's literally what they do. Bourbon is watered down, but they can't go lower than 80. Can't go lower than 80 proof, or then it's not even a whiskey. Then it's a something product. You could call it a corn distillate product, but not bourbon. Now, in other countries, you could. In New Zealand, this is crazy. In New Zealand, they'll get whiskey that's like 35 proof. I mean, 35% alcohol. I meant to say 70 proof. And that would not work over in this country. And they do it in Mexico. I went to Mexico. I bought brandy. It was 70 proof. I was so irritated when I got home. But over there, that's what it is. It's legal. I said, oh, no. No thanks, folks. In America, it's 80 proof and no lower. Canada, too. Hey, look, I don't have a problem with the Bellows. It's fine, but it's kind of bland like Jim Beam. Now, my friend was saying Jim Beam is garbage. And I spoke up immediately last night. I said, no. It's not garbage. I will not go along with that. Ever. Is it kind of bland? Yeah. Is it kind of ordinary? Yeah, it is. But it's far from garbage. In fact, it has no relation to that word. It's a good product. And this is a good product. It's basic, but it's good. These things have roles. They all have roles to play. Everything cannot be fancy, super flavorful, super high. Because a lot of people don't like all that. You understand? Most people I know, they like bland food. You say, why would you want to eat? I don't know why you want to eat it, but that's what they eat. Everything they eat is bland. Everything. They'd be so happy eating this mild chicken from Papa. I said, man, if I don't get spicy, I can't eat it almost. It's got no flavor, but they like it. Okay, so that's not my judgment to tell them what kind of fried chicken they need to eat. And it's not your judgment to tell people what kind of bourbon they need to drink. Like, oh, wait, oh, you don't want to drink that. It's only 80 proof. It's only aged 4 years. Like, you don't need to lecture the people on what they need to drink. I used to be guilty of that with beer, because everybody would always want to drink Miller Lite, Coors Light, Bud Light. And this is like in 1996, 97. And I'll be trying to tell them, why don't you try something else? Like when I started getting into the beer drinking project in 96. But they weren't interested, and it was just aggravating them, and they never changed. So later on, I was like, why am I wasting my time with this? They're not interested in an Imperial Stout. Hell, they're not even interested in a regular beer. If you can't get them to drink Budweiser or Miller High Life, you're sure not going to get them to drink Narwhal or Old Rasputin. All right. Well, thank you for watching. And, I forgot to do the, good, I'll put them down this way so I know they're straight. Well, it doesn't matter if they're straight. I got tags below. What am I talking about? That's the whole purpose of putting the tags. So even if I get them mixed up, they're not mixed up. What did I do over here? I got it wrong. Okay, well, can't believe it. So actually the Bellows had more flavor. I can't believe that. I got to retaste it. Now I'm not going to drink a lot. I'm just going to taste it because that doesn't seem right. Because I know this Bellows is bland. And I know that Very Old Barton has a little flavor at least. Hold on, let me see. I'm going to use it like mouthwash. Don't do this before you go to work. All right. I don't know. Well, does have a lot of oak. It's like Styx says. You said a band Styx is talking to you after you did this? Yeah, they're talking to me and they say you're fooling yourself. Okay, this is it. This is really it. I'm not gonna somebody was talking about going on a bender last night. Like, I go on a bender, I gotta control that. I was like, you need to control it like immediately. Don't do it ever. Yeah, okay, I just mixed them up. Sorry about that. Yeah. Want to do it right. Yeah, clearly the Very Old Barton, because I can taste that honey. The Very Old Barton has a much more charred oak, and it's been consistent throughout the tasting, so I know I'm right. So, okay, so here's the answer. If you want a mild honey-like, honey-like flavor, similar to Jim Beam, like very similar, get Bellows because it's very similar, but the price will be, well, theoretically lower. Let's say probably in reality it's not any cheaper. But in my case it was, but I get crazy prices around here that are almost totally detached from reality. But if you want a bourbon that's got much more charred barrel oak, then you definitely want to go with I don't know about the 80 proof. I think the 80 proof is very watered down, like the Bellows, you know what I mean, kind of bland. But you definitely want to go with Very Old Barton, much more charred oak. It's noticeable, clear, and obvious. Only problem is I'm doing two products that basically we can't get. Like, I can't get them. I got them, but that was on an offhand chance, not even a normal situation by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm basically making a long video right now about two products I cannot get in any practical way. But oh well, be that as it may, I'm going to move on to I think I have three bourbons left. I got some Luxco products. This is from Luxco now. I've got the Davies County from Luxco, which if I told you the price, you would guarantee I was lying. You would know it, but I'm not lying. It just seems like I am. And then I got a third Luxco product. Yes. And then it's going to be on to Canada. We're going into the Dominion of Canada, whether you like that or not. I'm sorry, but that's what's coming up, Canadian whiskey next week. So get ready. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a good Thursday.